Hi, I'm Zola, and this is a beginner reformer full body workout. I am on a personal hour reformer, and for footwork, which is the first thing we'll do with the springs, I'm starting with 2 heavy, a medium, and a light spring. On this reformer, that would be 2 red, a blue, and a yellow. Choose your footwork springs, whatever you like to start with, and let's get started. Starting with some half rollbacks. So start seated. My tailbone is pretty much very close to the front edge of the reformer in a place where you can set your feet on the platform and not feel too crunched up in your hip flexors. So find that spot. My arches are on the platform. My toes are reaching over. Think footwork arches here. And lightly grab onto the backs of the thighs. Sit up tall. Move from your pelvis first. So curl the tailbone under. Think of the waistband of your pants reaching back to the carriage behind you. Maybe the arms lengthen all the way, maybe they don't go quite that much. And then you dive your head forward, leaving the waistband of your pants where it is for as long as possible until you have to move the pelvis and sit up tall. Again, curl the tailbone under, round yourself back. The label of my pants reaches to the mat. And then I dive my head forward, pulling the stomach back in opposition and sitting up tall. Let's add a breath. Inhale. Exhale, curl the tailbone under. Inhale at the bottom. And exhale, round yourself up. If you're feeling good, try it without the arms. So reach the arms forward, curl the tailbone under, press the feet down into the platform, and roll yourself up. 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale, round back. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, roll it up. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, dive your head to your knees. Feel the spine really rounding here. And then sit up tall. With control, maybe you might have to scooch your hips a little closer to the front. With control, roll yourself down onto your back. Hopefully you fit right in front of those shoulder blocks. If not, just, of course, adjust. Arms long by your sides. Let's do some footwork. Heels together and toes apart. Tailbone and hips are heavy. And then start to press out and pull in. Press out and pull in. Full range in both directions. Can you get the carriage into the stopper every time? And can you get those legs to reach nice and long every time? 5. My arms are reaching long. The backs of my arms are pressing down into the mat. I feel a wide upper back here. 2. And 1. Come all the way in and change to the arches and continue right away. The legs and the feet are together. And every once in a while, I like to peek up, make sure my feet are centered on the foot bar, especially if I don't have an instructor to help me. 5 more times. 5. And pull. Exhale. Inhale. Or whatever breath you like. Sometimes I like to inhale to go out. Exhale to pull in. Last one. And then right to the heels, pressing out and pulling it. Now, I try to be mindful that I'm pressing equally into both of my heels, straightening both of my legs at the same time. 5 more. 5 and in. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Come in, go back to the toes just like we started, heels together and toes apart. Press the legs out, keep them nice and straight. Heels down, 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 and up, up, up. Down, 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 and up, up, up. So I'm moving through imaginary peanut butter here, not just letting the heels drop. I'm actively pressing them down. 3 more, press 3, hugging the seat in, and 2. 1 more, heels up, bend your knees, carriage comes in. So from here, put the feet down on the platform. Try to do a full roll up to seated. If you need to hold on to the backs of the thighs, please feel free to do that. Otherwise, you can reach the arms up, curl chin toward the chest, and roll yourself up to change your spring. Swivel those legs off to the side. So we're doing our hands in the straps. I'm going to do 2 blue on this personal hour reformer. And that's 2 medium-ish. Feet on the platform. Reach the arms. Roll yourself down with control. And grab your loops. I have a set of short and long loops, and I will be holding on to the short. Move away from the shoulder blocks a little bit and tabletop the legs. From here, just press the arms straight down. Think of those wide collarbones again. Inhale, lift, and exhale, press. Inhale, up, and exhale, press. If you're feeling good, maybe you add a curl of the chest. So I lift my head off of the mat, lift my chest, and then as my arms come up, I lower down. Good. Really firmly push those palms into the handles. Find length through the back of the neck and make sure your chin stays away from the chest. So we're not tucked this way. There's still length there. And if you're feeling extra spicy today, stretch your legs as you press those arms down. By the way, you can stretch the legs forward without lifting the chest. If you need that modification, the head can stay right on down in that headrest. 2 more like that. Good. This next one, hold the position. Your legs are either long or in tabletop. Start pumping the arms for your 100. Inhale for 5. I'm going to turn my legs out, heels together and toes apart. Inhaling for 5 pumps and exhaling for 5 pumps. If you feel too much in the low back, option to take the legs higher to the sky. Or again, like I said, you can keep them in tabletop if you want. Today I'm going to have my legs a little bit higher to the sky because I'm having a little neck sensitivity. Keep pushing those hands into the strap. You want minimal movement in your carriage here. You don't want it rocking back and forth too much. 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Bend the knees, lift the arms, rest the head. Let's put those loops on the peg. Roll yourself all the way up and then spin all the way around. On your way there, lower the headrest and take off all of your springs except one medium weight spring. I'm actually going to do a red, which is actually the heaviest spring on this reformer, but choose your poison from here. We're doing chest expansion. So make sure you have some space behind you on the reformer. I'm going to check the tension. I like it. Legs and feet are together and reaching long. Now, if you're too tight in your hip flexors to do this, try bending the knees. And if that's still too much, open the legs a little bit wider than the shoulder blocks. And it gives you more space in the hip flexors. It's not ideal, but you can do that. Also, option to use the box. But if you can sit up tall, give it a try. Hug the front ribs into the back ribs and just sweep the arms back and then reach them forward. Inhale, exhale, press. Inhale, reach. Exhale, press and reach. 2 more like that. I'm thinking wide collarbones here. I'm working the upper back. Now let's reverse the breath. Inhale, press the arms back. Hold your breath. Look right, left, center. Exhale, arms reach forward. Again, inhale, press. Look left, right, center. Exhale, arms reach. 2 more here. Inhale, press. Look, look, hug the seat, center, and reach forward. Last time, inhale, hold your breath. Look left, right, center. Exhale, reach. From here, palms face up to the ceiling. I curl the tailbone under like those half rollbacks we were doing, and I do bicep curls from here. Now I'm trying to keep my elbows lifted at about shoulder height. If that's too much on your shoulders, pull them down to the ribs. That's totally acceptable, totally fine. 5 more. 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. Stretch the arms, bring yourself all the way up, and take a forward fold over your legs. Whew, that is nice. Now put those loops on the pegs. Step up and grab your short box here. A quick short box series for you. I'm putting my short box in front of the shoulder blocks. I'm adding an extra spring just to stabilize the carriage a little bit more. And I'm placing my feet underneath the strap. Alrighty, so my legs are reaching long. I'm pressing my outer feet into the strap so that stabilizes and anchors my outer hips. And let's genie the arms, pressing the arms one on top of the other. See, there's no cross or anything. So I can push my arms into each other. Hug your seat in, the same half rollbacks we've been doing. Let's do it again. Curl the tailbone under. Start to round yourself back, but you're moving from your pelvis here, pressing into the strap with the feet, and then bring yourself right back up. So it's the same idea, curling the tailbone under, reaching the waistband of my pants so that head rests behind me, and leaving it there as I roll or round myself up. So it's like I'm rounding my lowest back to start, and I'm rolling back up. Good. Switch the cross of the arms. Let's do 3 more of those. Curl the tailbone under. Round. I'm thinking pubic bone to nose here. That's how much I'm trying to round. 2 more. Push the arms into each other. Press into the strap. The whole body works here. 1 more. Roll yourself up. Sit up tall. Rest the arms for a second. Shake it out. And let's cross the palms, stack the palms, and place the hands behind the head. Keep pressing out into that strap. And instead of rounding the spine, see, this is rounding. I'm keeping a long spine this time, and I'm hinging back. But the hinge happens from the pelvis. So what happens a lot is people keep the pelvis where it is, and they just start arching the upper back and going into an extension. That's not what we want here. We want to move everything from the pelvis to the head all in one big piece, like there's a rod going down through the center of my head. And then I hinge back, press the head and the hands into each other, hug the seat in, and come up. Let's do 3 more of those. Long spine. I'm painting the crown of my head on the ceiling as I go back and as I come up. 1 more time. Now switch the cross of your palms and let's just do a twist. This is your last thing here. Twist your ribs to the right. Now, can you do that twist and not take your hips with you? So I'm pressing the right heel and the right hip forward in opposition of my ribs twisting to the right. And then I come center. Hug the seat, sit taller, twist to the left, but keep reaching the left leg long. And then come center. And then lift, create space, and then twist. And then center. Last one, lift and twist. Good, come center and rest everything down. From here, just for a fun figure 4 stretch, place your feet flat on the carriage and then cross one ankle in front of the other. Cross one ankle on top of your thigh. Did not mean to say that. If this is too big of a stretch for you, take that foot, place it on the platform so that thigh bone isn't as high. I'm holding on to the back of the box and I'm reaching forward, rounding forward. Big stretch in the outer hip just because it feels nice. And then bring yourself up. Foot comes down and cross the other ankle over. Figure 4 stretch, other side. Round yourself down. Sometimes even just sitting up tall in this figure 4 position is enough stretch. So if you just need to sit up tall and not round forward, that is totally an option. And then bring yourself up, sitting up tall. Step off of your box carefully and take your box back. Good. Let's come back and lie down and do running and pelvic lift. So I love running because it's a nice stretch for the calf. You get to work your ankles. So legs and feet are together. You press the carriage out, 2 straight legs together in parallel. One heel down, one heel up. Lift and switch. Lift and switch. Lift and switch. and switch. So like I said, you should feel a nice stretch in the calves as your heel drops. The heel that lifts, you're really lifting it as high as you possibly can, so we have full range in both directions. I lift both heels in the middle, stretch both legs in the center before I switch, and then we can go a little faster. 10 and 9, 8 and 7, 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift both heels up, bend your knees, bring the carriage in. For pelvic lift, take the arches of the feet to the corners of the foot bar. I'm wrapping my toes around just like I do footwork arches. Curl the tailbone under and lift the pelvis up only about a palm's width, right? So very small lift. Press the legs out to straight, keeping the hips lifted, opening up the front of the hips, and then pull the carriage in. 4 more of those. Inhale and exhale, pull. For 3, 2, 1 more. Press in or pull in and roll the spine down. Good. From here, roll yourself up, so feet on the platform. Roll up. Let's go to 2 medium springs. I'm doing 1 heavy and 1 medium actually on this reformer, so a red and a blue. And lie yourself back down. For leg circles and frogs, and maybe a little tick-tock. So take the feet in the long loops. Make sure they're evenly placed on your feet so you can work as symmetrically as possible. Press the legs out, hold the legs long, feel the anchored and heavy pelvis and heavy tailbone, right? So we don't want to change this. Start to lift the legs up, open, down, and in. Arms are ideally by your sides, but sometimes it's nice to place the hands on the hip bones just to make sure the pelvis and the hip bones aren't moving all over the place. Up and open, down and in. Now, your range of motion depends on how stable you're able to keep the pelvis. But I still don't recommend much higher than 90, much lower than 45, or much wider than the frame of your reformer. Good. Reverse the circles. Go down and open, up and in, down and around. Make sure you're not trying to look too much at what the legs are doing. Sometimes that strains the front of the neck. Keep the chin away from the chest, the neck long, looking straight up to the ceiling. 2 more. 1 more. Good. Legs come to 45 degrees. You bend and you stretch. You bend and you stretch. Frog. So make sure when the knees bend, you don't want them to go wide. They stay about shoulder width. Again, the hips are anchored. That tailbone, that butt is not lifting off of the mat. 4, 3. Are your legs getting straight at the same time? Are you moving symmetrically? 1 more. Now just let the legs come up and down. Let the legs come up without lifting your butt off the mat. Let them go down without arching the back. Inhale up and exhale, press. 2 more times. Lift and lower. 1 more. Good. Bend your knees. Take a quick stretch, soles of feet together, butterflying the knees open. And then slide those loops off of your feet and put them back on the pegs. I'm stepping off to the left side of my reformer so I can work the right leg first. I'm keeping on my red spring, which is my heaviest spring here, and I'm placing my right foot up against the shoulder block for a nice lunge stretch, Eve's lunge. So my left toes are in line with the springs here, hands on the foot bar, and then I'm pressing the carriage out and sending the hips down. Make sure you don't collapse in the chest or round in the back. I'm keeping the chest open and lift it, getting a nice stretch in the hip. If you want to put the knee down, that is totally fine. It's still a nice stretch in the front of the hip. Now from here, take that right leg or the same or right arm or the same arm as leg reaching back. Reach it up, maybe do a little extension, and then side bend away from the reformer. That's a nice big stretch on the hip. Good. Bring the carriage in from here. You can either walk or hop over to the other side, toes in line with the spring, heel up against the shoulder block. Press the carriage out, send the hips down. Knee in line with the ankle on that standing leg. And again, option to keep the knee down, but keep the chest lifted and the arms strong. My left arm reaches up. I do a little extension here in the upper back. And then I look forward and side bend away from the reformer, really getting that nice hip stretch. Bring the body up, hand on the foot bar, carriage comes in, and you are done. That's a nice beginner full body workout. Even though it's beginner, it still works you out. So I hope you got something out of that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you want to see more videos like this. I am here for you, and I will see you next time.